What the hell did he toss at me? Woo! Timed that in the perfect spot. Oh my god. Yikes.
Lucky I'm trying this new setup, bro. Lucky.
Classic excuse, boys. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Danny here, and today, once again, I'm bringing you guys some more Call of Duty Modern Warfare gameplay for you guys, and today, the class setup that we're going to be going over is the M4A1, and basically, once again, I feel like everything at the bottom here becomes very standard. If you guys have watched my previous videos, this has always been the setup, and so I'm not going to really go into that. Now, as far as the M4 goes, I think it's been pretty standard. I feel like I've gone over this class, but if not, here it is. Merc foregrip. Ammunition can be substituted for whatever you want. Personally, I like 60 round mags because I like big ammo. However, if you want to attack 5 laser in place of that, or perhaps a barrel, to go for it. So I like no stock because I mainly play Shoothouse and shipment. So, you know, as far as recoil goes, it doesn't really bother me that much, and therefore no stock, you know, gives you that speed. Sleight of hand is great. You could run fully loaded. However, since it does use 5.56 ammo, M4A1 is one of the most popular guns in the game. And so you're going to get ammo off dead bodies anyways. And last thing, stippled grip tape is very good for aim down sight speed. So obviously, you know, these two attachments give me a ton of speed. Sleight of hand as well allows me to reload on the fly, and Merc foregrip spring tones down that recoil a little bit with very minimal aim down sights punishment, and of course 60 round mags because I like big ammo. So on that note though, let's get into the gameplay. So before I leave you guys with the rest of today's gameplay, something I wanted to cover really quickly is that I feel like there have been questions asking about how do I get nukes, and I feel like might as well answer it. Not in this video per se, but something that I did want to talk about in the beginning. Now in the future I will release a video probably on specifically on strats that I think work, maybe on Shoothouse and just smaller maps in general in order to get nukes. And so, because you know, I generally play smaller maps when it comes down to like Hard Hat, Shoothouse, you know, Havok Sawmill and stuff like that, or Candor Hideout. Candor is not really a small map, but maps that I feel like has decent flow to them. I will do sort of coverages on maybe not all of them, but just general strategies that I think you could apply to your games in order to make yourself a better nuke hunter. But with that being said, something that I do want to talk about today and lightly touch on is the M4, because I think that the M4, I know that there is a class setup I think that the pros use, but personally I do want to, I guess, talk about why I don't use pro setups and why I think, you know, if my setups match with the pros, then, you know, I guess I'm using the pro setup. However, I think that the setup that I'm using here is not what the pros use. So my first reasoning is that I don't use pro setups due to the fact that I just think that they don't really suit the more public match style of play. Now they do work, don't get me wrong, you could pop off with them, but there needs to be some modifications because pro setups are not designed to pub stomp. They're designed to win you crucial gunfights. They're designed to win you 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 gunfights, you know. And of course, obviously, pros go on longer streaks than that, but it's more oftentimes than not your goal is to win every gunfight 1 by 1. You're not really thinking about trying to go on long streaks and stuff like that. Your goal is to, at the very least, trade out against your opponents, and hopefully get like at least 2 kills. You know, go for 2 for 1. You know, that's your goal every single one of your lives. However, in a public setting, like I said, you're going for more than 1 kill. You're going for streaks far longer, and therefore, you know, ammo becomes an issue, right? And unless if you want to start picking up ammo off your dead allies or dead enemies, that factor becomes very inconsistent, right? And therefore, I think when it comes down to public matches, things like scavenger becomes relatively useful. Now obviously I'm not using it in this game nor in really any game in general, but that's why I run fully loaded, in case that's why people wonder. And this is a bad example because I'm using like sleight of hand, you know, instead. But obviously, like I said, you know, when I talked about my class, I have my reasoning when it comes down to picking up ammo from 5.56 guns. So, you know, there's a reasoning behind all of my public setups, and you know, I just don't really follow the pro guides, and I've honestly never really looked at them, so I don't really know what is the quote-unquote pro setup. So, if you want to follow pro setups, hey, more power to you. But at the end of the day, I think, when you ask what's the best class setup or what are you using on your gun, that's a cool thing to have reference to. However, I think that whatever it is that you're comfortable with is most important, right? Because at the end of the day, obviously I'm using, for example, the iron sights here of the M4. Some people are very comfortable with it, and I'm fairly comfortable with it, so it's not that bad. But I know at the beginning of this game's life cycle, I actually was not super comfortable with it, and so I would run red dot sight, and so, but I have friends who would ask me like, oh, are you just not comfortable with iron sights or something? Why are you using the red dot? And my answer to that is just personal preference. And at the end of the day, I think it's just very important that you just imply personal preference to all of your setups. And this goes for sensitivity as well. I know that that's also one of the biggest common questions. But in all general honesty, I think when you're playing public matches, play what suits your playstyle. Because public matches are not indicators of a comp match. Now, obviously, there will be moments where you run into teams that sweat their balls off. And, if you're playing against me, chances are you're gonna run into someone like me. Or you're gonna have to run into like a pro type of setup. Because I do try to win my games. I don't just, play. Winning to me it does mean a little more than the casual player. And so yeah, but that's really all I want to talk about today, and basically message being that, hey, use whatever you're most comfortable with. I hope you guys do enjoy my setup. If it doesn't work out for you, hey, feel free to make some changes. I do know that there are plenty of good setups. The M4 is a good gun, and this goes for any gun, right? Most of the time they do well. Now obviously there are guns that do rely hard on certain attachments. For instance, say snake shot akimbo, that was absolutely beastly. A single snake shot really wasn't that useful, but when you akimbo them with the laser sights, Jesus, they become godly. But like I said, for the most part, you can have fun with your own attachments, and at the end of the day, there is no one perfect gun. And so that's really all I'm going to get out there. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the gameplay. There you go. There's the nuke, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Oh, did you get the nuke?
Yeah.
Nice, dude. GG's.
Yeah, man. Come on. Come on. There you go. Okay. Score limit up to 150. I sort of have enough time. That's smart. Ah, I'm dead.
Just drop it right now. No
Honestly.
remorse.
Ooh, duck right under some dude's RPG. Woohoo.
Alright, Mr. Matrix.
Yeah.
Nice flex over there.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, buddy, your right shoulder doesn't cover your back. Okay. Nice slide, buddy. What? Right shield boy again? Oh, get rolled, dude. What? What? How did that miss? What? What? I was straight up robbed, dude. Actually robbed.
I caught a fishy.
I'm playing crossing.
Yeah.
Still not it. Have not touched that game at all.
Enemy near Main Street.
I am now in the process of making, or at least still getting the perfect villager set.
Oh.
So I'm just like scouting around a whole bunch of islands. There are a bunch of the mystery islands and trying to see what villagers I spawn.
Is there even a benefit to having certain villagers over others?
Villagers have a personality type, and you learn reactions. There's like 4 reactions you can get or something from each personality type. So like having a like a diverse island gives you all like the different like player reactions.
Gotcha.
Tracker 3-1, dropping whiskey keys on your mark.
Huh, didn't know they had that. benefit to them.
Yeah, and other than like aesthetic purposes, there's not much else. Like if you have all your actions, like it's really just to who you like, you know?
Enemy
Yeah,
at the courtyard.
makes sense.
Just set it out. Passcode accepted. Starting launch sequence.
Oh my god, man. "67 kills.
That gave them something to think about. Good work.